No matter how hard I scrub this one, it still comes out ratty. Hi everybody, and a warm welcome back to Maple Leaf Customs in Switzerland. I'm Andrew, and on the bench today is a 1:64 scale Matchbox 68 Ford Mustang Cobra Jet. It's one of the coolest variants of the all-time classic Mustang. I got this in a mail call from friend of the channel Mark Leminen in Finland. Thanks again, Mark. I'm using this as my entry to the Diecast International Builders October invitational on the theme of rat rods. Here's an up-close look at some of the disassembled parts. The windshield looks ratty. I might not even touch that. And here's the very realistic chrome interior. Whenever I see a chrome interior in real life, I stop and stare. It's a plastic yellow base and plastic Matchbox wheels. Both of them need some dire attention, and I'll give it to them. Sometimes my ferocious paint stripper goes to work even before I can set the time lapse on the camera, but I managed to catch this one. That's only about 4 minutes sped up for your enjoyment, and it brushes off very easily. Looks like this after I give it a quick wash and a wipe down with a cloth. I take a fine-tooth file to this raised line right down the middle, and I didn't mistake it for a casting line, I just didn't like it. I got to about this point and I thought, oh man, maybe I just de-Cobra jetted the Cobra Jet. I don't know if that's one thing that made it unique or not, but such as it is, the lines are gone now, and I've got a little smoother surface to work with. I think it's still okay. It's one of the most recognizable silhouettes in automotive history, don't you think? Bearing in mind that this is a rat rod build and shouldn't be perfectly finished, I think it's ready for the next step. That's applying some rust primer that I do in my spray booth. Ventilation fan is on, I'm masked up, and so should you be if you're doing this in your hobby. That's going to serve as the undercoating for everything else that I apply to the Mustang. I'm going to tape off just one side, leaving the passenger door and the rear quarter panel exposed. Like this. I shoot that in white. That's to give the effect that I've got a replacement door and a rear quarter panel on there. That's the same look right there. Lots of good stuff coming up on my channel, including the very important annual Painted Pink build. I've got a Jeep Cherokee and also Ken Block's Hoona truck on the build calendar, so I hope you'll tune in every Saturday, and I thank you for your continued support. There are so many different ways to add a rust effect to your casting. I've tried several different ones, and I favor the salt chipping technique. I've just misted the car with some water through my airbrush because it atomizes it so much better, and then I sprinkle on some basic table salt. The finer the better in this small scale size. Turn the pressure down in my air hose for this first top coat so I don't blow away the salt. When that's dried up, I can apply my top coat. I'm going with a baby blue here. Given that enough time to dry up, I then brush away the salt with a dry toothbrush. I taped over my quarter panel and door, so I unmask the white. That leaves a really nice freckled rust effect. Very realistic, I think. You can go more severe on the salt application or less depending on the results that you want to get. Now I take some acrylic yellow ochre, water it down really well, more than 50%. I'm going to apply this as a very light wash, but don't fear it doesn't turn anything really yellow, but it does create an aged appearance, both on the white replacement panels and over certain areas that I want to emphasize the rust with on the baby blue. It's very subtle. Today's community shoutout goes to Lee and his YouTube channel called Diecast Fixer-Uppers. As always, there's a link in the description that I invite you to follow to experience his hobby focus for yourself. Good work, Lee. I'm adding some darker rust spots now, using just the tip of a toothpick, making very sure that I don't go bigger than I should. I think the main mistake that gets made is going too large on these very small cars. You want to keep it in scale. This is actually black. Then I'm going to go over and add some orange dots in here, even smaller. It's taking shape, isn't it? Here's something you want to try if you never have before. It's called panel liner, and all you do is touch the tip of this very fine brush and watch the panel liner run just along the lines in the casting. That has got to be one of the most satisfying parts of the hobby to watch on film. I love how that works. It is another great effect. I run over the rain gutters too with the same panel liner, just to darken them up. Wow. It's starting to be a rat rod. Same effect on the front grille, which is the plastic chrome. Make sure I don't touch the Mustang badge in the middle. It's raised, and so it's quite all right. And finally, with some actual rust wash, I'm hitting just the places like behind the wheel wells and under the windows where I think there would be the most rust. If you put too much on, I just dab it off with a Q-tip. Self-restraint is needed here, so you don't go overboard. There's a real one. And just in a few certain areas, I'm scraping away the paint. That's the trunk badge, the door handles, the side indicators. That takes it down to bare metal again, like that. A little bit of chassis detail. Remember that was bright yellow before, now it's matte black. I'm highlighting the exhaust system. Some color highlights on the differential, maybe on the oil pan, anything you want to stand out from the rest. I 3D print dozens of steering wheels at a time, so I can just pull out one that I want for any certain build. I did some chrome spokes on the inside, and now it gets a dark walnut wood grain grip. That looks great inside. One of the final touches is a wheel swap. These are the original Matchbox plastic wheels. This little gauge I got at an office supply store shows you it's a 12mm. I've got some new Samed wheels. I want to make sure I've got the right size. They're real rubber. Remember, a rat rod is supposed to look ratty on the outside, but under the hood, it's all souped up, and of course you want some great tires to smoke any Challengers. So that's why these can be brand new. I'll give it a dry fit. The chassis, the wheels, the interior, the glass, the body. I'm not going to screw it together, I'll just click it into place. Yeah, got good rotation and clearance there. That's exactly the look that I want for this model. I invite you to visit www.samedwheels.com online and use the promo code MAPLELEAF when you make your next order to receive a bonus gift. A little bit of road dust is going to finish this off. In 1968, Ford offered the special edition of the Shelby Mustang called the GT 500KR, which stood for King of the Road, featuring the 428 cubic inch Cobra Jet engine, which was introduced the same year. All you see on mine is the hood scoop, but you gotta believe it's under there, and that's what makes this one special. There's all my pieces, ratted up. Nice steering wheel swap. I think that looks sharp. And I never did touch the window because it looked ratty enough. That's perfect for this build. Glass goes on the interior. I put the new Samed wheels in place. They don't need to be glued or resin down because they're pressure fitted. And everything is going to hold them in place. You know, I've done some dry fits, so everything is sitting just right. Some replacement 256 screws. Burnout. Let's have a closer look. I put a little Bondo patch on the hood. Brand new wheels suit the theme. Good rust freckles all over. I like the replacement panel feature. Distinctive tailgate on the Mustang and a little bit of detail on the resprayed undercarriage. Already was a rad rod, wasn't it? But I didn't really like the Los Angeles Lakers color scheme. Sorry, Lakers fans. So I went this way, and I had a ball doing it. No two rust jobs ever come out the same, but I'm pleased with the authentic look that I got this time. I always invite you to leave your respectful comments below and tell me what you think of this build or what you might have done with a Cobra Jet, and thank you for helping me keep this channel family friendly. I sure appreciate you stopping by today and hope you'll come back again soon and often. It's coffee time.